we're going to hear it now.
Okay.
We still can't hear it.
It actually came out much better than that.
There's 183 views. That says something.
Yeah, share it with me, Cindy, and see if I can do it.
I think because Cindy's muted, that's why we can't
That
hear.
you can really, no matter what you're going through, you can, hi Jen, how you doing? You can change whatever course in your life that you don't like with.
What happened?
Cindy's like, oh, technology on the spot.
You're muted, Sin.
Okay, I'm doing this because I know how to do this. Okay, we're starting over. This is take two.
Take two.
Just don't mute yourself.
Okay, both of the check thingies are checked. Here's Mike. Now, Lori, here's where my problem is. You guys all disappeared. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it, and you just need to check the X next to the volume there.
But how do I get the picture of you guys back?
When you unshare your screen.
Oh, I don't get to see you guys in the corner?
It might just be the way you have things selected, but yeah, you can't see when you're doing the...
Okay, here we go.
Hi everyone, this is Mike, and I usually do not do these, but something just came over me that I absolutely had to share. I was just talking to a group of friends of mine, and I came to the conclusion that you can really, no matter what you're going through, you can, hi Jen, how you doing? You can change whatever course in your life that you don't like with your mind. You can change it just by the way you look at it. I have been suffering with some really bad illnesses and a lot of pain for a long time, and I'll tell you what, in the last week or so, I have changed my attitude about my purpose, about my life, about I need to really not live in the pain. And I have been doing that, and I still have the pain, but I feel amazing about how I'm handling it. When you have a purpose and when you have passion, even just for getting out of bed, for helping other people, which is what I've found in the last couple of days, it is incredible. So what I'm just trying to say is I had to come right out and tell everybody that I am here to live a life, to contribute. My pain has nothing to do with me anymore. I'll still have it. It's still part of me, but it's just like being left-handed. It's just a part of you. So I'm doing this. I just want everybody to feel as wonderful as I do. I hope you all have a great day, and you're going to be hearing a lot more from me here on out. Have a wonderful day, and when you change your mind, you change your world. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you soon.
I know it sucked, but I'll get better.
Oh my God, no. Okay, what did you guys notice?
He did not stutter.
Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I watched it earlier. He did great.
So people who know you, Mike, that's going to be like, right? You guys have been watching Mike for years, right?
He was very confident and very sure of what he was saying. I don't know if he had a script or not, but he did great.
I was told not to. I was told just to wing it from the heart. See, I'm nervous right now for some reason.
It was awesome. Made my heart smile.
Thank you.
So add a hashtag to that when you post it and say, follow my journey or something like that. So you know, watch for me every day.
Okay.
What we'll do is it will hold you to account that you have to do it because you said you were going to do it. So each day people are going to be tuning in and you're going to be creating more and more of a following, and you can just give a little bit of a little tidbit each time about how things are developing. You know, you can share that you're listening to something. It's only a half hour. Don't tell everything that it is, because you want people to ask you and PM you and say, what is it? What are you doing? Okay?
Yep.
So you can talk about the fact that you used to stutter, and that just changing your mindset and your attitude has had you like look at me, I'm not stuttering, you know? And you'll have people reaching out, and then you can just say, I just feel so great that I want to help other people overcome their things, and just each day, just short like that. Follow me, check in with me every day, that kind of thing.
I'm already thinking tomorrow I'm going to do what are your musts, like we were talking about this afternoon. Well, what are your musts? Yep.
That's so awesome. You're out, Mike.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm in a good way, unlike the other ways. I'm out of the closet, so that's cool. Right?
You're out. You post that, and it's public, and you're on the hook now to do it every day.
I'm gonna.
There's 108. Did you see that? 183 views already. That's like pretty impressive.
I didn't look at that. That
was the first thing I saw. I was like, holy Toledo, 183 people looked at it already. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now that was about 2 minutes. You said short. Was that too long?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That was fine.
Awesome. Okay.
That's a breakthrough.
You said do it right away, so I didn't want to let anybody down. So boom.
Don't think.
I didn't.
You'll just talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, I got that.
My heart's beating. Like, my heart's already racing. The fact that, like, I'm thinking, oh gosh.
Your heart. Well.
You just froze. Oh gosh, what, Bernadette?
Maybe that was a sign from God. I said, when we were doing this before and you said to do them live, and I thought it was like on private or something, because I only wanted you to see it. And you kept saying, I can't see it, I can't see it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take that as a sign from God that I wasn't supposed to do it. So I get hats off to you, Mike. That was awesome.
No, it's not a sign from you, God, to say you weren't supposed to do it. It's just
Are you sure?
Don't make it private, make it public.
And thankfully,
I don't know.
Thankfully,
He gave me hope. Maybe I'll do that again. He inspired me. That was really.
Well, thankfully, I was told, which was awesome, that once it's done, if it sucks, you don't have to post it. You can just get rid of it. So that was like, okay, safety net. I'm all right. If I look like a drooling moron, I'm okay. So you don't have to post it if it sucks. You can do it again.
That's awesome. Mike is touched, moved, and inspired into action. I'm so happy for you.
Good job.
I'm enjoying, like I said earlier, a big day was just getting out of bed and trying not to, collapse or something, but this is way, way better. I like this way, way better. So very pleased.
Awesome. So how's everybody doing? How did everybody do for their month? How was April for everybody? We hitting our documented volume? Do we win iPads? Okay. So what else is going on? What do you need help with?
All right, Lori, I'm going to shout out because I'm off mute and everybody, Mike and Jen. So it takes a little longer, but getting kind of taking in all the information. So I'm taking my clients, some from the weight loss challenge and other ones as well, and we're consistently mapping foods. The whole wheel thing and the macros. and talking to them a little bit more. And what I'm finding, like, so I'm still not hitting my numbers, and not so much that, but I've added a few things. And so I've added in going back to the daily working out. I do cardio 2 days a week, and I do TRX the other 3 days. Nothing's budging, but people are seeing, like, I actually had a comment about how things are changing on my body, but I don't see the scale moving. Now I'm having people not just, I have one in the weight loss challenge particularly, I have one that went up and one that had lost so much right before the weight loss, but now it's still very steady. How do we help them better, like pick and choose foods, pick and choose things to, you know, because Herbalife is not your food, it's what supports what we're eating. That's kind of how I worded it. So what can I do more to help them hone in on their numbers?
Have you guys started doing the 6-day Eat
No.
Clean challenge? That's something that's getting some real popularity now.
And what do they mean by, what does that mean, eat clean? Like, I've heard it different ways from people. What is your version?
Well, Eat Clean is simply eating the basics without ingredients. So you don't have to map it all into MyFitnessPal, right? So it's just grilled chicken with nothing on it. It's just asparagus with nothing in it. It's just a sweet potato. So you get your fats, your proteins, and your carbs in the proper balance, but you're not making sauces and like all ingredients that you'd have to also add into the MyFitnessPal. So eating clean is just simply no ingredients.
So you can't have any type of seasoning on them, you're saying?
They use Mrs. Dash.
How about straight garlic, pepper?
Yeah, you can use it, but then you got to add it in.
Okay.
It gets to be a pain in the butt when you're trying to exactly meet your macros.
Okay.
So it's just like really, really boring food. Although when I was doing it and mapping to my numbers, I was taking the trouble to put it all into MyFitnessPal so I could eat the other stuff. It's just not, that's not considered eating clean. Makes sense?
The last time I heard somebody say anything that's 4 or less ingredients. So that's why I was asking what your version of it is.
Yeah, that's about right. Right. So it just makes it really, really easy to map into MyFitnessPal because there's not a million things to add in. Right? Once you start adding all the ingredients, you can't really figure out whether you're hitting your numbers or not. Unless you want to take the time to take every single ingredient and stick it in there. You know what I mean?
I've just been trying to find things that have the barcodes on it, but I have watched things like
You're cutting out.
organic thing that I used to use on my salad, and I never really I said, it's something that I love to put on my salads. It's some kind of organic blend. It's like sunflower seeds and some other stuff, but I've been using the like the barcode, and I'm like, I don't really need a 1/4 cup. I use like 2 tablespoons. So I'm trying to figure out how to put that in there because a 1/4 cup is overkill, and 2 tablespoons or a tablespoon is even better. So I was trying to base it on that. So it's some days I'm hitting, weekends are the worst, and the other huge stumbling block I'm coming up with people are, but I love my carbs. I'm like, who doesn't? So that's a huge stumbling block because
What carbs?
I'm sorry.
What carbs?
Like breads. I should basically say breads. And I'm like, I love breads too, but I've got to make a decision. You either have a goal or you don't.
Right. So that's what you say. You know, if you want to eat bread, go ahead, but you're not going to get a goal. Do you want the goal or do you want the bread?
Yeah, I'm finding a little more backbone in saying that now. Whereas before I had no backbone, jellyfish.
Well, it's whether you're committed to getting them a result or not, right? So it's not about being not having a backbone. It's just, are you committed to their results? And if you can have them understand that, geez, you know, I'm committed to you getting a result here. So let's put bread into my fitness pal and see what it does to your numbers. And then you can decide whether you want to have bread or not. But you can't, you know, say, I'm going to eat the bread, ignore what happens in my fitness pal, and then say the program doesn't work.
Oh yeah, she saw what happens, all right. Because I pretty much, I laid it out like that. And and part of me, like, I always get back to rewatching things and listening, and I'm like, everybody else is very firm, and I feel like, and I'm like, it's either you want it or you don't. I mean, I want you to have more results than you want them yourself. So either you want them or not. And the same with me. It's like, I had to go back and get myself a result, done with the, pity patty, and so working through some discomforts and things like that is making a difference. I don't see much difference on the scale yet, but I see some, actually others have made comment on definition. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, if the scale is like the last thing to move, if you're really eating according to a meal plan that you're gaining a lean muscle and you're reshaping your body.
Okay.
Because think of Kelly's results, right? She's got 15 pounds weight loss between her, Kelly Tang, 15 pounds weight loss. And there's no difference in her weight. She dropped 15 pounds, put on 15 pounds of lean muscle, but look at her body.
Her size. Mm-hmm.
So, you can drop the fat and put on lean muscle and not have the scale. So we call them non-scale victories. If your clothes are fitting better and you're looking better, I always say if you're looking good naked, then you're doing good.
I'm not there yet. Not really looking at that. Really hard to look in the mirror half the time. So, but getting there.
Well, if you hold the standard to looking good naked, then everything else is just going to fall into place. Literally. You might end up with another kid.
Here's the deal. I'll have another one if you have another one.
That ain't happening, girl.
Okay, then we're fair. Good game. I'm done.
Not unless it's a grandchild. All right. So, and we're going to be covering that tonight on the Weight Loss Challenge too. So I'm going to be going over that. So anybody else having any, business type things or documented volume things or any clarity that you need on just the new changes? I'm excited about them. I can't tell you how excited I am about this stuff.
This is more leadership stuff, but, I feel like it's my time to start encountering these opportunities for growth. And I have, the supervisors on my team, I feel like they're doing well. How do you, and I feel like I know the answer to this question, I'm going to keep going for it with personal development, but when your downlines start coming to you with objections and, struggles and all that kind of stuff, because the last couple of days I've had a lot of pushback from my supervisors and they're rocking and rolling. And I'm just like, for me, the point I'm at, I'm like, just let it go. It's, it's not a big deal. It's like wait times with Herbalife on the phone. I'm like, you just do it. You have to make the phone call. Just wait on the hold with Herbalife. It's all good. It's no problem. Like, just get it done. If you have any other tips for that as I continue to grow or we all continue to grow, I would love to hear those.
All right. A lot of times when you're not intimate with the company. You got some new supervisors that are not like locked into Herbalife like we are. Like, we love Herbalife. We love the company. We love the products. We love the people there. Like, we are just in love with Herbalife. They may or may not have gone to like a major event or even extravaganza where they haven't met the company in person. So they're not locked in. They're just like normal people right now. And so because we're going through all of these changes are like, so many, so fast, things aren't working. And they're looking at this like, I got into this company, everything should work. You know what I mean? So their expectation isn't, if they're in like, when Tony Robbins said, you're upset when you think things should be a certain way and they're not, right? That's when we're in upset. So they're in, this is the way it should be, or it's not meeting my expectation of the way it should be. So they're upset. So one thing that you can do is, first of all, put them at ease and say, the changes that we are going through right now were imposed upon us. So it wasn't something Herbalife like asked for to happen. It was something that was put on us by the FTC. We came through it with flying colors, but we have to now adhere to all this. And the changes are going in so fast because we only had 10 months to put them in place. Now, the amount of changes that are going into place are normally, the life cycle would be years. Okay? It would be properly designed. It would go through a whole bunch of review, and then it would get implemented, and then it would get tested, and then it would get rolled out. They're literally like making changes and rolling it out, and it can mess things up, as you can see. Things don't work because that's not the normal life cycle of software development. And we're bypassing that because of the urgency to get the functionality in. And teach them how to have some compassion for the development staff, the technical staff. Like, I have utmost respect and compassion for them because I used to be one of those people. So I know what they're going through. But the average user of a computer system doesn't know what they're doing right now, right? I was like, close a business on May 1st. I was up until 2:30 in the morning answering questions with people that had, still weren't done with all their, orders and getting their documented volume in, and had questions, and there's problems. And they were on the phone directly, like ready to call the person and to work through it. It's like 2:00 in the morning. And I'm thinking, they get up in the morning and then you're looking for stuff the next day, and the reports are off and the iPad thing's gone, and everybody's freaking out, and they're up addressing it. I'm thinking, when did they sleep? Right? And I'm like, if you're not sleeping, you're certainly not probably thinking correctly, and errors are going to get made that way. So give them just an idea of the magnitude of what's going into place and how quickly it has gone in. And the fact that Herbalife is just giving us all this stuff, we're not paying for it, right? If we were ever going to have these changes implemented, there would be a cost associated if it wasn't that we had to do it as a company. And we're getting it all for free, and they're giving us what we want and more. So that's one way to approach it. And I've had these conversations with a few people. You might get, have you gotten this one yet? Nobody told me this. And nobody told me that. Right? And that's when you would have that conversation about, well, here's the thing, that when we sign our application, we're all the CEO of our own company. So you can call yourself into leadership and go figure this stuff out like you are running a company, or you can act like a victim, right? And say, nobody told me, and wait for people to hold you by the hand. So which would you like to be? If you're going to be the CEO of your own company, you're going to be in charge. But you're also responsible for, finding out and figuring things out. But this nobody told me is just, that's like a cop-out for taking responsibility from your business. Okay? So learning to say those things in a delicate way. When you're the direct sponsor, it's a little bit harder to get that across. Okay? It's like being the parent and talking to the child. Right? The kid's like, she's out to get me. Okay? But when somebody is looking at you like a mentor, like I could say that to you, right? Because you're coming to me asking for, and you're going, wah, 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 why isn't this, why isn't that? And I'd be like, well, Jen, you're the CEO of your own company. So it's up to you to go find these things out. Everybody's figuring this stuff out all firsthand. It's nobody's responsibility to tell you too. Right? We're all figuring it out together. So get on the calls, plug in, learn with everybody else, and stay abreast of all the changes. And then you won't be in the, not in the know. Does that help? Okay. So what are some of the things that they're coming up with that are like complaints besides waiting on hold?
I had messaged you about the tax thing. So 2 of my supervisors are having taxes taken out of their checks from Herbalife. And
get that resolved?
No, we're still working on it. I've called and left voicemails with finance, but again, just not hearing back from them, which I understand. I understand it's a busy time. So, but trying to explain that to them, it's, they're like, oh, Herbalife's not calling back. It's like,
yeah,
it's okay.
Email me their names, their ID numbers, their phone numbers, and name, ID, email, and phone number. And
Okay.
then a brief description of the situation.
Okay.
And I'll see if I can get some clarity on that.
Okay.
Anything other than the tax situation?
That one is the biggest right now, just getting that resolved. And then one of a second line supervisor just had her first retail return, and she's not Herbalife at all. It's, like every little hiccup is a huge deal right now for her. Mm-hmm. So that, last night just talking with her sponsor and then her, she was pretty livid, colorful language to say the least, because, I understand why we're once products are purchased, we're responsible for them and we have to do the full refund, even though we didn't receive that full money. And she wasn't quite there yet. So we're still working with that, just mindset wise, understanding that it's her business. So, just those type of things. And I've been, Tony Robbins playing 24/7, just getting through this. I'm like, we're good.
Everything I need is within me now. Everything.
Yeah. Stepping up right now. So.
Right. Okay.
So, just things.
Yep. Working with people. That is one of the biggest things. And you're going to have that with the new baby distributor, right? Because like the brand new distributors are like little babies. And you kind of take them along and you bring them along, and then they get into where they're teenagers. Okay. So when they start to hit active world team, you're great because you've been around for a long time and you've been coachable for a long time, and you haven't taken on that it's active world team to get team. They take on the teenager. I know everything. I don't need to listen to my upline anymore. And they try to pull away and have their own stuff and all of that. And then what happens is they get humbled very quickly. But sometimes the stubbornness of a teenager doesn't matter. They'll bite their nose off to spite their face. And so there's a lot of growth that goes on at the get team level, because when you did you hit your second cut?
No, we missed it by 2,000. So
Okay. So
everything is working for me. Learning. We're hitting first cut again this month. There's no playing around. We had 2 new supervisors cut last month, so focus.
Right. So, and here's the thing with the cuts is that you want it to be sustainable when you get there, right? So you don't want to hit get team and then go out of get team, because then you don't get your production bonus. All right. So you want to make sure that when you hit it, you're actually on the climb for 2,500. If you can get enough momentum going where you hit your third cut is your first cut of 2,500, right? So, with that said, you're going to have just a juggling act going on. And the juggling act is that you have to keep your own personal production up at the same time as you're starting to mentor all these other people. So having structures where you can plug all your people into is critical. Start having some of your better distributors step up and start doing some of the trainings that, the mentoring sessions or trainings that you guys do, so that they're in that role as early as possible. So when you start doing that, then it gives the people that are equal to them, the people that started at the same time, we tell each other, don't compare and, don't look over there, keep the blinders on and look forward. But when people start in the same time and one person sees another person pull out of the gate, or a person started after them and now they're going forward, it lights a fire under them. So you want to get your distributors that are willing and able to start doing some of the training work, so that you're not doing it all. The second you make it, that you have to do all the training, then you're in trouble.
Well, we have a client group, and we are extremely active in it, doing 21-day fit challenges. Every day there's tons of activity in that group, and it's been very powerful for our clients, getting amazing results, and that's kind of where we're pulling our coaches from. And I do lives in that one, just to talk about like what we do as health coaches, just to pique interest and stuff. It's like mini HOMs in the group. And I would say 2 very powerful leaders, supervisors. One just hit world team, one just hit active world team, but they still haven't taken that step to do a live video in the group. And on our team call last night, we talked about even for them to do once a week, just a product spotlight or on live, just for not just, yes, for their leadership, I think would be powerful for them to be getting out and talking, because they come to the SDSs, the LDWs, but they haven't even gotten up on stage except for accepting their, certificate. So I just, I think that would be helpful, and just growing their leadership, and then also for their clients to see them stepping up. And, I think that's powerful for a client to see their coach being like, oh, my coach is training, not just being a participant, but they're talking about the products, they're stepping up, they're doing lives. So that's kind of my focus right now, is if anyone has any more suggestions on how they get their leaders to step up, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear it, because that's what I'm working on right now.
Cindy's been doing being very effective with her group, right, Cindy? Cindy, can you hear me?
I can now. I didn't earlier.
I was saying that you were being effective with your group, getting them to just do a product spotlight or step up and talk and do a live in your client group.
Yeah, what we started doing was with our shake challenge, we decided to do, and I had each coach take a different day. So if somebody has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they do a live Facebook. We're finding that the live Facebook post is a little bit more interactive than the just posting a picture up there. but we're turning it into, we're trying to get the clients to become interactive. So we're giving away a gift. So at the beginning of each month, we promote that, and we give away a can of PPP because they're all in Formula One and the protein drink mix. But if they comment what flavor shake they're having, they get 1 entry in the drawing. And if they post a picture with what flavor shake, they get 2 entries in the drawing. And at the end of the month, we go live again and we do this big production and we give away a can of PPP. We started doing that about 3 months ago, and it's been so successful. And we're finding, like you said, there's coaches stepping up out of the customer base. You can see who is going to step up. They're becoming interactive. If a new client asks a question, those are the people who are going out there and answering them before we are. And then we always do the shake challenge, and then we do something different each month. Like last month we did a water challenge, there's an exercise challenge. So we 2 different things going on, but I don't run them. The other coaches, we all work together and step up to do them. So that has really pulled the clients together. It's actually interesting. I love to watch the dynamics of the clients coaching other clients as they're coming in. But then we try to go out, and I just heard this past month, or at the LDW, and I'm going to start it this month, making one whole targeted nutrition product our spotlight of the month, like Heart Health Month, if we're going to do Heart Health Month. So weekly, I'm just going to pick a different coach and have them go out. And I had to pull teeth in the beginning, Jen. I'd say, okay, who wants to do this? Who wants to do this? But after, like with Mike, he did his live video and he was all excited. But after they did it once, they wanted, matter of fact, the second month, well, can we just keep the same days? Everybody just wanted to keep it going. And I think it's good because the other coach or the other participants see not just their coach, they see other coaches. But we've also started doing, like I'll put out, I had a 29-gram Reese's peanut butter cup shake. And then I put, my 2 scoops of Formula One, 2 scoops of PDM, 1 scoop of PPP. So they're asking, oh, I could do a 29-gram shake and get in. So they're upgrading each other. They're asking questions. If somebody just puts the flavor of shake, somebody will come out and say, how did you make it? So what I'm finding is that and the longer we do it, the more people come on board. But interestingly enough, there's more people that don't comment that are ordering all the things that we're putting out there for the recipes. And I had a lady send me a message and she said, I got to find this PDM on the website. I can't find it. Where is it at? And then she said, well, what is it? And I said, well, why are you looking for something you don't know what it is? Everybody out on the community page is using it. It's extra protein. I think I need that too. So, even there's a lot more people that are watching and ordering because they're ordering the different things than commenting. So it's got a double advantage to it. But I would just have the coaches go out, and sometimes we'll ask questions. Like in December, we did the 12 days of Christmas. So we asked the 12 days of Herbalife. We just asked Herbalife questions. And if they answered them, all the right answers went into a drawing. And people sometimes will do more for that drawing than they will for just recognition or anything. They like that little possibility that they may. And I've started putting even my 3-day trial people out there. If they get a 3-day trial, and I have found that the way I'm saying it, when we're talking about the 3-day trial, and I say, and as an added benefit, we'll add you to the client program or our client page as well, where you'll see other people getting results in the products. And they're like, oh, really? I'm going to be entered into, and I put them out. And I just started that this month. And I put 4 of them out there, and they're asking questions about, what's going on out there and entering into the different challenges and we call them challenges out there. Like the shake challenge, the water challenge, the exercise challenge. We did the 21-day cleanse challenge, which was very interesting. A lot of people did that. But what I do with that is a lot of times people will take their PM tablets and then they forget the AMs, or they'll take their AMs and they forget the PMs. So I would go out and put the post up and say AM's in. And then, somebody makes a comment, they get a notification. So they were told that they had to comment when they put their AMs, when they consume their AMs, and the same with their PMs. So it was throwing notifications up. And we actually had to do the cleanse challenge 3 months in a row, because the first time around there were people watching. Well, I'm going to do that next month. Well, we don't do them back to back, but we ran it anyway for the other people that wanted to do it. And I was finally like, I hope we don't have to do the cleanse challenge again. We did it 3 months in a row because people were late coming in and wanted to do it and wanted to wait at the beginning of the month, which is no problem. So they're definitely, watching. The interest is there, and people that want to join. Not everybody wants to, but those people are definitely doing things behind the scenes, because we're all seeing it. All the coaches are seeing it in their orders.
Awesome. Does that help, Jen?
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy.
So your girls are reluctant to go live inside the private page, but so were hers. And actually she was too. I think on this call, I challenged her to go live. I think one way back, and you were on that too, where I had all of you go live, right? And then you started to just do it. And now, you're doing it. Jen, you've taken it to a whole new level. So now we're going to watch Mike do that. So, I think that it's just a matter of breaking the seal. You got to teach your new people to break the seal. And everything is daunting before you know how to do it. And then you can get good at it and it becomes a habit.
I know, I've been around the company so long, and I see what, as you move up the marketing, like what happens. So I keep reminding myself, I'm like, this is normal, like this is going to happen, and like, don't get stuck in the get team trap. So I'm like focused on personal, new coaches. It's like, I'm trying to keep that in my mind and not like get overwhelmed. I'm just like trying to stay present to it all and just be like, okay, well, this is, they've been telling me this stuff for years, so I can't really be surprised.
Right. And there was a time where you'd be like, give anything to be overwhelmed. Right. So now be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. Right. I'll give anything to be overwhelmed. So then you get overwhelmed, and then you have to think about, oh, now I have to get calm. Right? I have to stay calm for my people because I want them to stay calm. And, then you're going to eventually get to, geez, I should have been doing yoga and meditation all along. So I can just tell you that now, right? Cliff notes. Do it now. So, but it's funny. So I wanted to mention, guys, I got my new Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. I ordered this because it has a 9-week workshop associated with it, like the Financial Peace University. Only it's the Rich Dad, Poor Dad version of Financial Peace, which I'm a huge fan of. So I would like to launch a, for those who have not done Financial Peace, I would be more than happy to do an online Financial Peace so that we can get through those steps. Financial Peace is great. You need it as a mentor. You need it for yourself first, to get a handle on your money strategies, and then you need it to mentor people, because people that come into Herbalife don't necessarily have their money management skills down. They're coming to Herbalife because they want money. So typically you're not in the best situation financially. And it doesn't mean that, you're in dire straits or anything. It might mean that you just never learned how to live wealthy, right? How to manage the amounts when the amounts were small. we tend to be irresponsible with the small amounts because we feel that they're negligible. But those small amounts compound over time, and you can go down this path and be way over here, or down this path and be way over here. Now, there's some things that, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion from everything I've studied and read, that Dave Ramsey teaches that are a little obsolete in thinking around money, because the economy has changed and the world is changing. And there is no such thing as now the baby boomers are in their 20s. The baby boomers are all retiring. So that bubble that has created significant impact to our global economy is in a different state now. We're all in our 50s and 60s and 70s now. So there's a different time frame for that bubble to be hitting. We're not depositing a whole bunch of money into 401ks and putting money into the stock market. And the people that are younger are not putting their money into that stuff because they don't have it, because they've got student loans and they've got excess living expenses that are beyond the normal thing that we had, 20 or 30 years ago. We got out of college and we started with maybe at zero, right? You didn't have a whole bunch of student loans. Maybe you had some, but they weren't, devastating. And your big deal was saving enough money to get a house. But you didn't have a cell phone payment. You didn't have an internet payment. You didn't have insurance that's astronomical. You didn't have all of these other expenses that are normal everyday expenses nowadays. We didn't have all those. You need like an extra $1,500 a month just to live nowadays, and school loans on top of that. So the people in their 20s they don't have the liquidity that we had when we were young. So the economy is changing. And, jobs have not come up to the level that you need to just live. Right? So that makes sense to everybody? People are still working for 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe $20 an hour is a good paying job. It's not a lot of money. Bernadette's looking confused. You agree? Okay. So.
No, I'm listening to you saying that's exactly what's going on. I mean, my older son is the same. He was like all excited because he's like, I got a raise. Now I'm making $10 an hour. And I was like,
yikes.
Where, I'm like, and we were trying to show him where he added up his just basic cell phone, car payment. And for the first time, now because he's gone from different places, now he's paying a rent. And I mean, he's drowning. Because my husband's crunched numbers, and at the end of the month, he's always negative at least 200 or more. And he's just like, well, I'll just get a second job.
Right. And that's where a lot of the kids are these days. So there's no such thing as, well, I think I'll put, a couple $100 a month into a 401k and then have my company match it. There's not a lot of that thinking. Okay. So there's less people and there's no liquidity. And so if there are a few, they're rare. They're the exception, not the rule. When our generation, it was the rule. And so everybody thought there was going to be, millions of dollars when they got to be 65. And that didn't even happen because most people, because of the course of their life, in their 40s, tragedy happened midway through the whole plan, and there's a divorce, and there's pulling the 401k out, and there's, selling of houses and, buying of bigger houses, and all that stuff is going on. So, the plan when you started at 20 to amass this millions of dollars in your 401k didn't occur. And then the people that did do it, and there is money in their 401k, and it's not significant, but there's some, when they get 65, it isn't gonna be there. They're already predicting there's gonna be another crash, right? They predicted the housing boom. It wasn't a surprise, but it was a surprise, right? This whole thing with the college and the student loans isn't a surprise, but it's gonna be a surprise. The fact that when all the baby boomers get to be 65 and they start wanting to pull their money out, is it going to be a surprise? No. But is it going to be a surprise? Yeah. A lot of people are going to be surprised and devastated. When all along, he's been all over the internet saying it's coming again, right? He predicted that, all the other stuff too, the housing boom and the market crash and in all of that. So what I'm saying about the Financial Peace University is when he gets to investing and he gets to, once you have a handle on your money and you've got your emergency fund in place and you've got your zero balance budget, and then you've got, you know, your 2 to 3 or 6 months living expenses aside, and you're ready, set, go. Okay, now what do I do? Once I am abundant, once I do have things under control, how do I create wealth, and how do I create generational wealth? Right? For those people who have children, you want to create generational wealth. All right. So Rich Dad, I think, has a better philosophy on wealth accumulation. And it's be wealthy now, not wait until you're 65 if you actually even make it, and live wealthy after you're all old. Like, wouldn't you rather just live a wealthy lifestyle now while you're amassing your wealth and then pass it down too? Well, there's ways to do that. It's just a matter of their different strategies. So I would like to do, after a financial piece, is do, for those who have done financial piece, to do the Rich Dad 9-week series as well. Okay. So if you guys are up for that, we can, you know, just pass the word to your teams, and it's another way. Jen says she's in. So Jen, it's another way to help educate and help mature your team and get them to start thinking like entrepreneurs rather than employee mentality running a business. Like right now you've got employee mentality running a business, and that's where you get the wah, wah, wah all the time.
That's exactly what I was thinking, the employee versus entrepreneur, when the whole return thing happened.
Right. You know, even if it's a loss for her, it's a tax write-off. So keep track of your records. You are a business person. You're not going to lose when you're in business for yourself. Because when you have something like that happen and you're in business for yourself, you get a tax write-off for it. When you're an employee, you don't get a tax write-off for it. You just get the loss. So, you know, advising her to take a look at tax-free wealth, because I know you've been reading that. And then, you know, playing the game cash flow, playing it with them, getting them to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And do it as an assignment type of thing for those people who haven't done Financial Peace University. So we can hop off this call and we can get on our weight loss challenge and talk about macronutrients now instead of macroeconomics.
Everybody keep watching from my videos and give me your opinions on how I can get better at them. So.
All right, we'll follow you and we'll like them and we'll push them.
Cool.
Thank you, Lori.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
See you soon.